Hey everybody, welcome back to Down the Shore Homestead. Today's video is the 7th installment of the 10 videos in 10 days challenge. And today I want to talk about how Gen X is very innovative and we also hold tight the traditions that we had when we were younger. Not so much the traditions of getting all of your family together and having a big family meal at Christmas or Thanksgiving, more like the traditions of our childhood toys, our bikes, things like that. We were also a very innovative generation because we were the first generation that got to play with video games. We were also the first generation to basically discover programming on demand. We had beta and then VHS, so we could record programs and watch them later. And we were also the first generation to have pretty much 24-hour news. When we were young, our parents would put the news on at 5 o'clock at night, and it would be a half-hour show, maybe an hour, and then the news was over for the day. Later on in life, we had CNN. We also had music television, which is why we're the MTV generation, and that was launched in 1981. So we got to watch our music videos 24 hours a day, where before we had to sit with a boom box and wait for the DJ to stop talking to start recording our favorite songs to create mixtapes. And we also came up with blogging. In 1994, I hope I say this correctly because it's a little tongue twisting for me, but the Swarthmore College student created a personal site on links.net to talk about their life, and that was the beginning of blogging. In 2002, Friendstar was created for you to talk with all of your friends, and then in 2003 was MySpace, and then in 2006 was Twitter. So Gen X had a lot of influence on creating the social medias that you see and have today. And I'm not sure if you knew this, but Google and Amazon were both founded from men in the Gen X generation. And because we were latchkey kids and the divorce rate skyrocketed in my generation, we didn't have a lot of family traditions to really speak of. Therefore, we're very nostalgic about the things that we did with our friends and the toys that we played with and our bikes and our big wheels, because that was pretty much what we did in our childhood. For instance, I still have scars on my knees from twisting my big wheel to stop and rolling over and scraping my knees. I still have scars on my forehead from when I had chicken pox, because our parents would all put us together when someone had chicken pox so that we could get it over and done with for the entire family. I remember playing with Little People's Treehouse at my friend's house, as well as board games and watching Saturday morning cartoons. So we're a very nostalgic generation, and I'm hoping that some of the younger generations pick up on that nostalgia as well, because looking back and trying to find some of those older toys that you no longer have is a pretty cool hobby. And believe it or not, you can actually make some money on the vintage toys that people still have today. Now, I will say there's a couple traditions that I like to keep in my family today, and that is opening one present on Christmas Eve. It was basically so that our parents could get us to calm down, to go to bed, so that they could pull out all of the presents and get them under the tree before we woke up the next morning. So that's a tradition that I continue today, and hope that my kids will keep that tradition alive with their children in the future. I also like the tradition of going out and sledding with your kids, drinking some hot chocolate on a nice snowy day. Those are memories that I will never forget, and I hope that the younger generation experiences that and continues that tradition as well. I also hope that the younger generations will keep the heritage of their family alive talk to their parents, their grandparents, find out all of the stories, and try and document those for the future generations. I feel like the older generations are passing and the younger generations aren't keeping up to keep the families together. And that's something that the younger generation really needs to keep alive, because I know that my kids didn't have the childhood that I had because of all of the divorces. And it was hard to get everybody together. And we moved far away from my family. So it made it hard to get together. So I do remember, I think it was a Thanksgiving, where in the picture, there's probably about 25, 30 people in that picture, but it didn't happen that often. And then when my kids are old enough to remember the Christmas and Thanksgivings of their childhood, it wasn't very many people at all. It was my mom, maybe a couple of my brothers and sisters, and them. But most of the time, it was just myself and maybe some close friends and them. So they don't remember those big Christmas and Thanksgiving dinners. And I also want to try and continue the tradition from my husband's family of the 7 fishes on Christmas Eve. And then on New Year's Day, the tradition of eating pork and sauerkraut for good luck. I really hope that your younger generations focus on your family and friends and what you like to do and enjoy your life. And yes, I do believe that you need to be financially responsible and try and create generational wealth, but you still need to be able to have a very happy life doing what you love with the people that love you. So hopefully you got something out of this, and you'll give this video a thumbs up so that it pushes out for other people to see. And if you think that I left things out, put them in the comments below. If you're from the boomer or silent generations, or you're from Gen X and I forgot things to put into this video, put it in the comments below. Because we all need to share what we remember from our childhoods and what we gave to society as a generation. I bet a lot of people didn't realize how innovative Gen X really was. So Rocco just wants to say thanks for coming around. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get a notification when the next video gets put up. And we'll see you next time.